Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day. This week we are exploring milk theme things. So now I'm using some printables that are all milk themed, but I want to go beyond that and discover what can be done with actually milk. This is called milk marbling. A lot of kids do this in their science project, and it's just a fun little twist. So I used milk and I used food coloring to create these different pieces. Now this one has blue and red in it, which comes out kind of pink-like. The back is more muted. And this one is straight up just using one color, using the red, and it just creates this kind of dreamy type of look on the paper. Here's a different one, kind of plain on the back, and a different one yet. So it's interesting also because you would think that it would get kind of a smell to it using milk as the base for this. It doesn't. So let me show you how it's made and see if it's maybe something you want to try. Okay, so for this I'm going to be using just these little plastic containers. I wanted something small, something that I could use with little pages. I like being able to use the little pieces because I have more options of seeing just more results. It's just more fulfilling for me. This is normal copy paper. I cut it in 3 inches, and this is a 4 1/4 inch size. So right here, here's the 8 1/2, 11 piece of paper. I cut it so that it would be in half right here at 4 1/4 inches, and then I cut them in 3-inch blocks with one leftover piece that's just smaller, but it'll be great. So let's get going. Now I have a variety of different types of milks I'm going to use today. This one's actually a lactose-free milk. Let's see what happens with this one. I'm just going to place milk along the bottom like that. And then I want to grab some food coloring. Now you can get food coloring just right at the dollar store. So it's really inexpensive. So take your food coloring and just go ahead and make a few drops. There's 3 with the blue. So let's try some red. There's 3 with the red. And the last color I'm going to use is a yellow. I'm going to do 4 yellow. Alright, now you can use toothpicks. I think they have toothpicks probably at the dollar store too. Or you can use like Q-tips. I like using just the, I just like using just the old paper clips. Oops. Oops. I like using just the toothpicks. So if I take a normal toothpick and put it in the middle, nothing happens. See? Nothing's happening there. So, but when you use soap with it, miracles happen. Let me grab the soap. Okay, I have to confess, I forgot the soap, so I had to go upstairs to get it. So it looks like my blue has really expanded. It's going to be interesting to see what it does. So now take your toothpick and just dip it in your little solution. Now when you take it, look at that! And you touch it, it repels and it creates these fabulous designs. So I am getting the most reaction, probably because I need more soap. Now I'm just getting the most reaction from the blue. Okay, so I've got that. So what I'm going to do is take my paper, I've got a little spot there, it's all alright. I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to place it gently into the mix and then pull it up. And that's what I get. Doesn't it remind you of your youth? And then I want to put it out at a place where it can just dry. Let's do another one. I'm going to do it this way. Place and pull. Try not to disturb it much so that I can get the most out of my paper. So the more you go, the more muddied it's going to get. Ooh, I like that one. So you can see it's starting to get a little bit on the muddy side. But look what it does. Isn't that great? I'm loving it still nonetheless. Oh, look at the action that's just happening. It's like, boom, something happens and the colors just start moving. Isn't that cool? It's just a fun little thing going on here. Okay. And I'm going to try backside with this one. Yeah. We'll see. I'm going to use my heat gun on these. So I think it's about at its limit, where it's just starting to get a little bit too mucked up and too much of the browns occurring. So I'm going to put this away and I'm going to dry these. So that one has a little bit more of a brown pool, so I wanted to pull that one up. These two, I don't know, they're just looking a little bit too brown to me. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them. I'm going to go ahead and sop up some of that. It might actually be interesting in the end. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and continue drying away. Okay, here's my papers. Now I should say when I made this before, I just let it air dry on the table, but because I'm down here in this limited space, I wanted to use my heat gun. It worked fine with the heat gun. I did find that I wanted to use a blotter on the areas that were too dense or there were too much moisture, and it does change it a little bit. Like, see right here? It makes sense, right? Of course it's going to change it, but it still is just fabulous. Just a lot of color, just the motion. I could see working over that and creating a wonderful tag or pocket tuck. Here's the last one. Just a nice swirling effect, grabbing the colors. Now these are the ones that turned kind of brownish, and I thought, you know, that's not good. But actually these can be quite fabulous. After all, when we coffee dye our paper, we have those brown tones in there. With this, it's also picking up other colors. You can see the red undertones and you can see the yellow undertones. This one even more so. This one's my favorite. You can see the red there, and this kind of has a greenish look. So actually, it turned out quite fabulous. I'm really happy with that. So let's go ahead and try a different type of milk. Okay, new box, new milk. So you don't have to use actual milk. You can use a milk alternative. This is a macadamia nut milk. You can use almond milk. Soy milk also works out great. So I'm going to pour just a little bit along the bottom to cover it. And then we're going to begin. This time I'm going to use just 2 colors. And we'll see how that goes. I am going to use red and yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and place my drops. Getting it on my hands here. And yellow. So now this food coloring is actually an older food coloring. I don't know if that impacts this whole little project here. I'm sure it impacts cooking, right? You don't want to use something old. So it has a best use date by 2014. Okay, I'm not baking with it. I'm crafting with it. Okay, I've got my soap, and this is just a normal dish soap like Dawn. And I'm going to put it in the middle. Look at that action. There we go. Now the yellow's moving. There goes the red. I might put a few more drops in there. Why not? Like, this is a yellow. Put one over there. It looks red, doesn't it? I don't know why sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, as far as it suddenly spreading. I'm going to grab another food coloring and see how that works. But for this one, let's go with this. So look at that. Making a mess here. You might want to wear some plastic gloves or something. Let me grab a fresh toothpick. See, now that one is not doing it. Why? A little science experiment there in itself, I would say. Okay, so let's grab the paper then and just begin. So this is my first time making it with the macadamia nuts. See, I like that. I have made it with the almond milk. It turned out fabulous. Oh, look, it's still swirling just right on the paper. So the red is starting to dominate. Let me go over here where there's a little more yellow. Pick it up going this way. So I didn't get a lot of color on the bottom end, so I just re-dipped it. There. Okay, I'm getting a lot out of this one. Oh, there's a little activity. Boom. It's like a little explosion going on. These will make cute little tags, just upright ones. I just kind of gave it a little kiss there. Tried to not keep it down there as long. Wonder if I kind of smoosh it around with my finger. That works. I'll do these last two. So it's starting to look like the red is pretty much dominating at this moment. So I think I'm at the end of what I want to do. I'm going to grab one more here, then I'm going to dry. Ooh, look at that one. I like that. And then I'm going to dry what I've got. Now as you're drying, if you have a piece of paper that has a lot of fluid on it, if you're using one of these that has an airflow to it, you can actually move around the ink on your paper and get a whole nother look. So just a thought, just an idea, just a tip, thought I'd pass it along. So I'm finding that I can blot it with my towel and then kind of move it around with my finger, and then it creates more of a natural look. This will help me increase the drying time, but not leave these marks as if I took a paper towel to it and sopped it up. Okay, let's dry again. Alright, so here these are, and I love how they turned out. Just nice swirling, nice coloring. Isn't that fabulous? I love this one. Get a little bit more of that yellow in there. This is a really more of a little muted type of look. But see, just the variety of colors. Couldn't you see a book made with that, using it? Okay, on to another type. You know, I do want to point out, with this color, these colors, it seems like they turned out brighter than these colors. I might be wrong. I don't know. That's the mucky one. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, thought I'd just point that out. There's my initial thought. Okay,